Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to episode number 6 of 2 Jawns Wit. In this episode, we talk about the Sixers beginning their playoff run against Toronto this weekend. We also tell you who we think should be the NBA MVP. And then we discuss the Phillies and the start of their 2022 season. And do you think that you know their walk-up songs by now? Because Dunphy thought he did in our brand new game. Make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll talk to you guys later. We hope you enjoy. Hello and welcome in to 2 Jawns Wit. I'm Sam Stafford with my co-host Dunphy, and we are 2 Jawns Wit Sixers playoffs. Woo!
Fear, baby.
Fear the beard, baby. Okay, so round 1
Toronto Raptors
begins Saturday. Number 4 seeded Philadelphia hosts the number 5 Toronto Raptors. Now, like I said, round 1. If in case people didn't hear, BetParks is now officially the presenting sponsor of the Sixers throughout their playoff run. Oh, I pressed the wrong one. I wanted to clap. There we go. You know what? We're working it out. But yeah, we're the official playoff sponsor or presenting sponsor. So that's really fun.
Go download the app.
Yep, download the app. Anywhere you see Sixers, you'll see BetParks.
Promo code
Jawns 750.
Jawns 750.
Yep, all new users.
How's it go again? You get a free bet up to 750. Risk free.
Okay.
Up to 750.
Thanks, Liam, our producer over here. Knows
Great
everything.
Producer.
Yeah. But so Jawns 750 on the new BetParks app. We're the presenting sponsor of the 76ers on their playoff run, and we're going all the way. Can't wait. We already said game 1 this Saturday at home, 6 p.m. Dunphy.
Same.
I need to know your thoughts on this because obviously you're more of the basketball personality between the two of us. These two teams have matched up against each other 4 times this season. 2 at Wells Fargo, 2 in Toronto. And so far the Sixers record is 1-3 against them. But I don't know if this is good or bad. I feel like it's optimistic. All 4 games have been decided by 5 or 6 points. So it's been close.
So you could say it comes down to coaching possibly, which they have the upper advantage, which scares you for close games in the playoffs. When you have Doc Rivers, who's
not known.
Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
And then you have Nick Nurse, who's an elite top 5 coach in the NBA right now. Young. He's got a very I don't know how to explain it, but Toronto isn't where you expected them to be in the beginning of the year as the 5 seed.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably would not have guessed they were going to be in the top 6.
I feel like ever since they lost Kawhi, they kind of, and then they also lost, what's his name? What's his name? The guy from Philly.
Guy from Philly?
Yeah, after they won the championship, Lowry.
Oh, Kyle Lowry.
Yes. So that I was blanking on his name. Thanks again, Liam. But yeah, so
you want to take over, dude?
Ever since they lost Kawhi and Lowry, 2 years ago now, I feel like they won the playoffs, but then they were like, okay, you lost your 2 best people besides Siakam.
Right.
It's really all they.
So were you asking me my opinion on the series? Who's going to win?
Yeah, I want to know how you think this is going to shake out because we said they've matched up.
I think it's going to go deep. It's going to go 7. Sixers are going to win in 7. I think it's going to be a tough series. I don't think it's going to be as easy as a lot of people think it's going to be. I hear a lot of people on the radio. I hear a lot of people on social media talking to people just around like, yo, what's the thoughts on the game? And everyone's like, oh, Sixers are going to cruise. Sixers are going to win in 5. I've even been hearing sweeps. I think people are just
gave me bad vibe chill.
Look, I know, very bad vibe. I'm trying to stay optimistic and think about a lot of positive. I do think we can win this series. I think we will squeak one out. I think it can be easier if James Harden is James Harden. You know what I mean? If he's on point doing his thing, he's going to get people open. He's going to
Question real quick, though. Isn't that one of his criticisms in his career is that he's not as strong in the playoffs?
Yeah, early on, there was a lot of – I know he would shoot like 2 – I think there was a game – don't quote me on it. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think he shot like 2 for like 18 or something.
But does that make you nervous because you don't know necessarily which one you're going to get?
He's been better since, and No, it doesn't really bother me much. I don't look much on shit from like 2010 when we're in 2022. So you know what I mean?
I like
think
how you had to think about the year because I also was thinking about the year. But
no, but I don't think as much as his bad performances is gonna have a factor on anything now. I think it's we have a week for him to get healthy if his hamstrings bother him any little bit. We have a week for Embiid to get whatever more he needs to fucking do. And think about that. He's playing at a dominant level now, and he's gonna have a week off
I know.
and come in.
We'll
and be
get to
fresh.
We'll get to Embiid too because I
Fresh.
want to talk about him and the MVP race. But first, let's finish this talk. So, one thing I did notice about the Sixers, they played the Raptors most recently last Thursday in Toronto. They didn't have Matisse. They lost that game 119 to 114. Matisse can't play in Toronto for the playoffs. Obviously, he'll be playing at the Wells Fargo Center. But in that last game on Thursday, Pascal Siakam had a triple-double. 37 points, 12 assists, 11 rebounds.
It's not going to happen.
I was going to say, so how with Matisse being out and that defense kind of, I mean, obviously, hopefully it doesn't struggle too much, but that's all Matisse is known for is how well of a defender he is. So does that worry you at all?
Like I just said while I was interrupting you, and I don't think he's going to do that again this series at all. He played out of his mind that game. Everything just worked out in his favor. And I'm happy he went bananas and Gary Trent went bananas because now we have an idea on how to defend it. So they went all out. That was their championship, I guess. They were playing out of they were Siakam and Embiid go back and forth from the same country. So they had their little thing. And that was his like championship. That was his time to shine and flex on Embiid. And now Embiid's like, all right, he obviously got the hint that he's not winning MVP. He's got, and this is still personal. It's still Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
This is their chance to come back and
the team that had Joel. Yeah, the team that had Joel crying on the court, crying in the club.
Yeah, you're gonna have to crop that picture in there. But yeah, he's definitely crying in the club for sure. But Sixers in 7, I think it's gonna go deep. I think it can go 6 if we're up and we're home in Game 6. I think we get ended in Philly or ended in Toronto, and
which would be so sweet. Drake sitting courtside, probably.
See Embiid doing the helicopter again. I'm fired up. It's Sixers playoffs. I mean, how can you not be?
Yeah.
Like I said, Sixers in 7. That's my final pick. Okay. What do you think?
So I'm saying Sixers in 6, and it's kind of always my default. And I think part of it's just because it kind of has that alliteration. I'm like, yeah, Sixers in 6. Yeah. Sounds cool. You know what I mean? But
6-6.
I actually I don't know, because of the fact that throughout the season, our record is just 1-3 against them. I'm weird with the fact that when we go into playoffs, we are the better seed. Not by much, obviously. I think Toronto is just 3 games behind us.
Scares you a little bit?
Well, no. So I feel like it gives me more confidence when we're the higher seed. So rationally, that should mean that we're the better team.
Right.
And the fact that we haven't or don't have the better record, I feel like that always makes me feel better because I'm like, technically we are the better team.
It's like the underdog.
And and we are, I feel like, are just going to kind of take over. Like whenever, I'm trying to think of an example, but like whenever football, if we lose really bad to a team in the regular season and then have a rematch with them in the playoffs, I always feel good about it because I'm like, what are the odds that this team's going to beat us again so bad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
that way. But then you can also look at it as regular season and playoffs, 2 different things. We're both 0-0 now in the playoffs. And we played them twice towards the end of the year, which I was at the 3rd game. We lost. We put up, I think, 37 or something in the first quarter. And I think we finished with like 85 points. So we scored 48 points or some shit like that in 3 quarters. Jeez. From the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And we wound up losing. But then towards the end of the season, it was a high-scoring game without Matisse, so we got a taste of what it would be like. Which, come on, honestly, it's a Matisse Thibault. It's like we're not missing Harden, we're not missing Embiid. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but it's just the defense part of it.
I get it, but
and because that game was so recent, I mean, it was a week ago that we played on without.
Did the Sixers even really want to win that game? Not that they're going out there to lose, but it's like Toronto had more to play for because they weren't.
Yeah, I was going to say they already had it clinched.
Yeah, we were good. We were.
Yeah. So, I mean, and besides the personal aspects of it, which we'll move into now, Joel Embiid, JoJo, is the MVP, or not MVP, the NBA scoring champ.
Right.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Congrats to him.
Eat it up. But how do you think that plays in with the MVP race?
I think it's going to fire him up. I think it's, when did the voting officially stop? I think everyone put their votes in.
Yeah.
I think it got like leaked basically.
It gets narrowed down.
Everyone reports to their podcast and stuff like that who they voted for. Like, I think Embiid only had 3 votes. Jokic had 13, and I think Giannis had 3. So he's going to win like unanimously.
Well, no. So right now it's the 5. They narrow it down to 5.
Are you sure?
And then later on they'll choose the tops. Like,
because I know it says right here 20. I seen an article. It says 2022 confirmed ballots. These are voters who have delivered articles, tweets, or statements. These are considered firm ballots included in real time. And then it has players on here or voters on here. I'll name some that we know, like Brian Windhorst. Or Windhorst, however you pronounce it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
bigger dude.
Windy.
From ESPN. He voted Embiid, and his source was The Rich Eisen Show. And then I'm going to say another one on here. We got Jalen Rose from ABC and then ESPN. He voted for Jokic, and his source was NBA Countdown. Bill Simmons.
My thing, though, when they were talking about it on First Take, and Nick Wright said what they do is submit their top 5 because, like, obviously – they want to get the most answers. So they have like a scoring thing about it.
Okay.
So they submit their top 5. And out of everybody that gets the actual vote, they submit their top 5. They narrow it down to 3. And then they'll have a ballot of the top 3 people that were on the scoring out of everybody. And they'll vote from that.
Well, the only thing I'm going to say in regards to that, I mean, that could help Embiid a little bit, but these are first place votes that were leaked. So I'm assuming if it's all right, so it'll probably be broken down in points wise.
Yeah.
First place.
If it's 5, it would be a point scale of some
right.
sort.
Yeah. So, I mean, on here, it looks like Jokic is obviously going to get the most first place ballots.
Which makes me
first place votes on the ballot. And then Jokic and Embiid. Embiid and Giannis are tied.
My thing about it, though, that makes me the most mad. Okay, so Giannis, yes, I see his point or like his argument of why he's so valuable and why he could be MVP. But
I hate it.
But I just think because he's dominant, I feel like he's kind of taken over that new league role of the LeBron as LeBron's getting older. He's kind of looked at like that.
It's all these fucking numbers.
Well, so and then you have Jokic, who's just the best on his team. And I feel like that's really everybody's argument about it, but there's still a 6 seed. So he obviously isn't that great. He's not propelling them to the top at anything. And then Joel, the thing that bothers me is one, I feel like maybe it's just because we're from Philly and I feel like everybody outcasts us and just doesn't like us because of the process.
Kevin Durant.
But 2
says he deserves it.
Oh, okay. I thought that was your thing. I was like,
no, Kevin Durant says Embiid deserves it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people coming.
Well, and that's the thing too. And
Halliburton.
And my thing about it, when I look at everything, Jokic probably was like middle of the year, started getting in MVP talks. Giannis has been like the last month of the season that he joined the talk.
He came in late.
Yeah. And so that's what's annoying to me because I'm like, Joel literally has put up these insane numbers all year long. He was in the top of the talks the entire year. And everybody before this year was always like, oh, he just can't stay healthy and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. And even now I heard on First Take like a couple weeks ago that they were like, oh, like he stayed healthy this year, but he didn't before. And I'm like, is the MVP of 2021, 2022 based on prior years? No.
Go off.
Yeah, it just makes me so mad because I feel like it honestly is because everybody just sees it as Philly. Like he's the NBA
versus everybody.
Yeah, NBA scoring title. And I even saw somebody try to put it on like responding to some network on Twitter, trying to be like, well, he didn't score the most points total in the NBA. And I'm like, do you realize it's 10 times harder to average the most points in the NBA than accumulate? You could have 5 games where you just put up insane numbers and win the scoring title. Or like
sit around and just look up all the fucking these made up stats.
Yeah,
they're making up all these stats like, oh, he has the most rebounds inside the paint. Yeah, well, Embiid guards people out on the wing. He guards people out on the top of the key. He don't just sit in the fucking paint and grab rebounds. It's not what he does.
Did you see
He's
that
not a stat pattern like this fucking nerd?
Well, and also another thing
Smack the shit out of Jokic and his fucking brothers when
dude, all of it. Oh yeah, they don't intimidate me. Puff my chest out.
You
What you
about to
gonna
fuck him
do?
up?
Yeah, man.
Shout out Jokic's brother. He's a bitch.
Oh, said to Jawns, wait, come at us. I love the look.
I'm kidding, dude.
Yeah,
I want to smoke, bro. I'm kidding.
I'm not. I'll say this to their face. I get feisty, man.
I believe
But where was I going? Oh, Jokic. Did you see last night's game though, where he pushed? Who was it that he pushed? I forget. They got in a little like they were running down half court, and they kind of got in a little like tussle match. And he went up. Who was it that they were playing? The Pelicans?
You seen the video yesterday, you said?
This morning. And so it was last night's game. And he went up to whoever he was kind of tussling with going down court and pushed him behind his back and threw him on the court. And he had to get isolated and everything. So I wonder if that's going to kind of hurt.
No, you seen a clip. That's from earlier in the year with Markieff Morris.
Yes, it was Morris. Okay, so I saw it today. It wasn't last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm actually on the opposite end. I'm not a Jokic hater.
Mhm.
I'm not, just because he's a good player.
Well, yeah. I mean, all these guys in the
I'm not
conversation.
going to make it seem like I hate the dude because I'm picking Embiid for MVP, which he's just clearly the MVP. You ask any basketball person, they're going to tell you he's MVP.
Yeah.
It's what it is. He's losing because he's fucking nerds.
Dude,
anyways,
let the players vote and he would win.
He would win
like you said.
unanimously.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
And he dealt with all that Ben Simmons drama and still kept the team up there.
Okay, yeah. I'm happy you brought that up because 80% of the season he was without the second best player all year and had them as the number 2 or 3 seed going into the All-Star break. So
yeah,
I mean, with 4 seed with Adam Harden. And look at Harden's numbers lately. Besides what they bring up too is the free throws. If you watch the games, they said he's trying to draw the fouls. No, the fuck he's not. He's down there and he's just young balling everybody that's around him. He's
double and triple teamed by every single person. You know what I mean? So obviously he's going to draw fouls.
They showed so many.
They can't stop it.
Dribble handoffs that Jokic was getting, and they're calling him assists. Like, yeah, look at these. Someone made a clip of like 100 assists of him just handing the ball off, and the dude just like getting open and hitting a bucket, and him getting an assist for it. Just the stats nowadays are just so
it's so annoying. And just to go along with your point, if we just break this down in its purest form, NBA scoring title with 2/3 of the season, more than that probably, that he didn't have his second best player on the team with Ben Simmons. He also had to deal with all of that. That's mentally taxing because it's tearing your team apart when you have that in the locker room or around it. You know what I mean? And then not only he finally got Harden, and it's obviously, yes, Harden's amazing and I'm happy we have him now, but like he had to go through that. They had to go through it. Obviously, they're not going to come right on the team and be lights out, amazing.
Right.
And they still kind of got through that and stayed afloat. And you know what I mean? So that's why it's just like they had maybe the last month of the season of where they really could just kind of float and keep going, and they actually were stronger, still getting to know each other. But like,
I still don't think they've even played at their best yet.
No, yeah, I don't either.
And it could take the series to bring it out of them. You never know. Like they could find a groove and they could run with it, and they could just go bananas. You know what I mean? They have the firepower. They do.
I agree.
They got Embiid, they got Harden, they got Maxey, they got Harris, and they're going to start. Danny Green's going to wind up starting, which I'm not even mad at the way we match up with them offensively because we're going to have to get buckets, and he's obviously a much better scorer.
Yeah.
And I feel like Danny Green, his defense isn't as where it used to be, like not even close, but you still see moments from him. He can be in position. He's not a terrible defender, but he's not thighable. Obviously, that makes sense. But he used to be thighable. You know what I mean?
He's just getting older. Yeah.
He just has cement feet now. But
which happens, comes with age.
Yeah, but I'm still happy with putting Danny Green there, and then I still like Niang off the bench, and then what do you think? What do you think they should do with the big man off the bench? Should they go Paul Reed, B-ball Paul, or rock out with DeAndre Jordan?
I don't know, because now you got the only thing I like Paul Reed just because I think that he is
Millsap
the answer
as
going.
An option too.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Millsap, so I'm not even going to bring him up. But
he's an old head. He's just an old head.
But Paul Reed, I feel like you want to because he's the younger option, and I feel like that's the more realistic going forward. You know what I mean? So I feel like you would want to get him experience. My only thing is that DeAndre Jordan's older and has the experience.
Yeah.
So maybe you start him because he has that experience and you try to fit in Paul Reed so he gets the experience, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't see Paul Reed as I don't think it's this topic where I'm only bringing it up because it seems like that's everyone's concern right now.
Yeah.
It's like a huge topic. And I don't think I think it's getting overblown than what it really should be. I mean, they're going to play between both of them between 8 and 10 minutes each game. So, like, who really cares?
Yeah.
And Doc, I mean, everyone's killing Doc for the way he handled it. Yeah, I don't like how chippy he gets sometimes,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But he gets cocky. But I guess it comes with age. I mean, like, he's an old head. He feels like he deserves more respect, like how Pop would get respect and all.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously he doesn't have the jewelry that Pop got, but I think he just thinks he wants that respect, and he hates that he's getting questioned, and he sounds like he's being trolled, which he is, and that's how Philly reporters are. But I think I would go Paul Reed too. I liked his answer when he said for small he'll go Reed, for big he'll go DJ, which makes sense because obviously you're going to need rebounds. And like I said, they're only going to be in there between 8-10 minutes combined.
Yeah.
Paul Reed gives you a little bit more offense. He gives you more energy. But defensive wise, I think they both stink. I don't think they're good. I really don't. I don't think either one of them are good. I don't think Paul Millsap's good. So they're really just the argument's it's just stupid argument, really, honestly. I mean, he brings more offense, but that's about it. You know what I mean? He brings a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
I think he's the better option, but it's not like, yes, we got B-ball Paul in there. We're gonna win this thing now.
I agree.
But I think it's just something for the fans to fucking argue about. Like, they had a chant going on. Like, I get it. I get it. But it's like, relax. Like, this dude isn't like, we just found this hidden gem. Let's go. Like, no. They both stink.
I was gonna say he's doing better.
Dude was playing good in the G League. Like, come on, bro.
No,
and B would drop 239 points in the G League. Like, let's let it go, bro.
I love that.
Dude's solid. Like, relax.
Before we move on to the other fun, exciting team right now, once again,
Flyers?
Yeah. No, once again, what's your prediction? You said Sixers
in 7.
Boom,
Embiid's going to average 35 and 12.
Oh, I like that. Those are I can see those numbers.
Embiid's he's going to put on a fucking performance. They're going to win this series. He's going to helicopter his way around the arena. It's going to be a little revenge. People are going to talk to shit. It's not the same because Kawhi and what do you call Danny Green ain't there and Kyle Lowry ain't there. But look, we beat Toronto. So we're going to move on, and we're going to probably, I would say, see Miami.
Okay.
Next round.
Okay. I'm going, once again, Sixers and 6. I like your numbers with JoJo. I might just switch them a little bit and just say, I'll say he averages 37 points and 11.
I mean, hey, either one could get the job done.
Yeah.
So I could see either one happening. It wouldn't surprise me even a little bit.
No.
We need to get Harden in form. Tobias to stay hot because he's been balling. I think Maxi's going to have a huge series. Everyone's talking about these dudes like OG, who's coming back from an injury. VanVleet's coming back from an injury. So that could hurt them. And even before he came back from the injury, he wasn't playing at an elite level. He was.
Yeah, I completely forgot about him.
So
it will be interesting for
So when they're back, I mean, they got Siakam still. Siakam's a good player, but he didn't have a great season. And then they have they're pretty deep. They got Scotty Barnes, who I really like. I think he's a rookie though. But I like Scotty Barnes. I think he has a good future. But Tyrese Maxey's a dog. And
I know. I'm
let
excited
the dog
about
out this postseason, and he's going to help us win.
10-9-8 76ers, baby.
Play the song!
Play the song! 10-9-8 76ers. But I love that you just did that matchup. And Sixers looking good, looking strong going into that with Maxey and Embiid. But another roster that is bringing all the fun and the heat and the excitement.
Remind me, who are they?
The Philadelphia Phillies.
The Fighting Phils?
Phillies.
What did they do last night?
They put up a 5-run rally in the 8th to take the win in Game 1 against the New York Mets. And for everybody that's listening to this and going to try to fuck it, Oh, I said the F word, and it
Wow.
doesn't matter. And that's going to try to troll us. We're recording this Tuesday.
This is Tuesday.
I think game 2 against the Mets just began. So give us leeway. It's not like we're idiots and don't look up the stats before we try to talk about it. We get paid to do this. So leave us alone. But yes, the Philadelphia Phillies, they were losing 4-0. 8th inning comes up and they put up 5 runs. It was just a fun rally. It started with Alec Boehm getting on base. JT had a 2-run homer in there. Everybody just fed off each other, and it was so exciting. And that's what we expect this season. That's why we have the lineup that we do.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so exciting.
It sucks because the game before, we were going for the sweep against the A's, and the bats just flat out died. Until the 9th inning, not one of our true starters had a single hit until Segura hit the solo shot. But our only hits were from Stubbs and was it Camargo? I think him and Stubbs and Camargo
I don't even
remember.
Only
2 hits, but it wasn't a good game. It wasn't a good outing at all.
Well, my thing, I honestly, when the lineup came out, it was really strange. It wasn't their normal one. Like, you had guys subbing and everything, but the weather was like 40 degrees. It was cold. It was windy.
I don't like.
The ball doesn't fly when it's cold.
And everyone was. Did you have a problem with JT not playing? Not being benched. I got crucified for this. It's not. He wasn't being benched.
It's a rest day.
Rest day. Like, all right, nerd. I get it. Like, I know.
Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
I know it's not a bench day. Like, I know he's not benched. I know it's a scheduled day off. But yeah, he got benched. Whatever you want to call it. He didn't play. He sat on the bench all game. Did you have a problem with JT not playing?
No, especially when it's cold like that. He's getting older. You're seeing a lot of injuries, and we'll get into the Bryce thing next, but you're seeing a lot of injuries right now because of the shortened spring training, and JT's getting older. It was really cold. So you have to think like, I'm not putting my best catcher in baseball up in the cold. That's going to probably tear his knees.
Right.
It's not needed because they already won 2 of 3 against Oakland. It's the Oakland A's.
Seriously. And my
Let
thing
him rest.
is,
it's cold.
I like how you brought up, and a lot of people were bringing up that he, what the hell did you just say? Slipped my mind that quick, but anyways,
getting older, the weather.
Not the weather. Not
short
the
spring training.
Yeah, short spring training. I like that you brought that up because everyone's like, oh, it's short spring. Why he should be in there getting his at-bats. Well, he had a short spring, so shouldn't he like have the day off? Wouldn't that make more sense?
Yeah. Did you not see yesterday how bad? Oh, who was the pitcher from the Mets? He ended up leaving the game early because
Taiwan Walker.
Yes, and then there was another reliever that kind of
Trevor May.
Yeah, yes, it was May. So that happened
I like
to 2 of them.
Trevor May.
And hopefully that like nothing huge, even though they're Mets, but hopefully like just for their sake that it's nothing huge and like going to have him out for a while.
Right.
But they both had to be taken off the field or off the mound because of just
Trevor May came out right before that rally started.
Yes, and that's what kind of started it all. But it's because, and it's not even just that team. You're seeing it all around the league, especially with pitchers, because they're the ones that it affects the most.
Good point.
But you're seeing it because it's the short spring training.
Right.
Like, obviously they're expected to be training in the off season and during the lockout. But it's not the same. They literally had no team access to any trainers or anything. What did you expect them? They're going to do their best to their ability, but it's not a MLB caliber trainer that they're training with. And
they have 13 starting from the season over. They play 13 or 14 straight games. And, within 5-6 games, he's going to have a rest day. So you'd rather him rest that 3rd game against the A's that we already won the series instead of resting him any games against the Mets.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's still fucking early April, but it's still divisional games.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You don't want to lose any ground. Fuck the A's. We already won the series. Move on to the Mets.
It was cold.
And guess what? He had a 2-run fucking bomb yesterday.
Exactly. No,
so
I agree.
Like
I agree 100%.
People just overreact to every single thing.
Everything. I will tell you what's not an overreaction. So Bryce Harper last night made a throw to home in the 7th inning, and afterwards the TV like shot was zooming in. He's rubbing his elbow, which is not good.
Mm-hmm.
And then he leaned down. He's kind of just like looking like he was not happy. And then in today's game, he's DH.
What do you remember early? I don't know if it was. Remember when he got hit in the face? Was that last year?
Yeah, early last year.
Remember early last year, he got hit in the face, and they were saying he was good, and then he went on the DL.
Yeah.
IL.
Even just we saw it a couple weeks ago.
Hopefully we don't see that again. But he was saying he was okay, and then
last week, Mickey Moniak got hit in the hand. They put out reports. Oh, we already got him an X-ray. Nothing's broken.
Yeah.
And then the next day, he's out for 6 weeks
fractures.
because he fractured his hand. They don't
tell you everything up front, which look, I mean, it's a business. That's how they go about it. That's how they go about it. Of course, we want to know every single thing. You know what I mean?
But the only good thing, maybe the thing that's telling me maybe it's not, hopefully it's not as serious. Because obviously it's always concerning when you see your UCL, somebody holding their UCL. You know what I mean? Especially the reigning MVP. But the thing that tells me hopefully it's not as bad and they don't think it's as serious is that at least he's DH. He's not completely having that.
Well, I will say this thing: 1,000, 1 billion, trillion, fillion, infinity % had him on the field throwing pitches or having a catch, taking at bats, and he obviously cleared everything.
True.
Or they wouldn't be playing.
And he stayed in that game last night.
Right.
He didn't come out.
He's a competitor, so you know he's the type of dude to be like, yo, it's nothing serious, even if it is.
Yeah.
But he definitely went through the proper conditions to see if he's okay or not. I think they're just like, yo, let's not have you out there diving around because you know he's going to, like he did yesterday, sliding for the ball. So they're going to be like, yeah, you know what? Take a seat, go up there, hit a dinger or two. And
just hit a dinger or two. That's your only job tonight, you know?
Go out there and hit a dinger or two, buddy.
We're not going to talk about tonight that much just because obviously it's happening and they won't even hear, like they're going to be hearing this after the game. But I just want to know your thoughts about Zach Wheeler hitting tonight because we always say I told you so. So we're going to have the answers real quick. What are you expecting from Zach Wheeler? Just real quick instead of getting in depth, but
Zach Wheeler tonight. Well, I haven't read it in
his first start
down or not, but I think he's going to have a pretty good outing. I think he goes without knowing if there's a pitch count or not. I think he goes 6 strong innings, allows 1 run on 4 hits.
Okay. I like it. Yeah, I think because he had no spring training because he started his training late because he had like some shoulder uncomfortability.
Them stretches.
I know.
Stretches.
What would they say? Some shoulder tightness. Let's say that. Okay. So discomfort. So discomfort. That's what it is. That's the word I was looking for.
What did you say?
Uncomfortability.
Discomfortability.
There you go.
Put it in the dictionary.
Man, I am so good with these words that I learned in college. Okay. But no, so I think because this is his first game, I think we'll see he didn't get spring training. So we'll see that spring training kind of debut thing where he gets maybe 3 innings if he can even last that long, which he should. I mean, it's Zach Wheeler. But it just makes me nervous tonight.
So you really have him on a pitch count, basically.
Yeah, and yesterday when I was watching that game, I was really happy when we got that 5-run rally to win the game in the 8th because I was kind of nervous about this game because of that Zach Wheeler thing. And then the Mets lineup, I mean, they're scary good too. In their first 4 games, they had 41 hits.
And I don't know if it's just me, but I fucking hate Nimmo. I don't know what it is.
Really?
I hate that dude.
I like him.
Everything about him. I hate his run. I hate when he walks, he sprints to first.
Okay, so I don't focus on him like that. So I don't have like anything in mind like that. But I like him because Nimmo reminds me of Nemo. And how could you think of Nemo and not be happy?
Nemo's a great name. It's a great movie.
Did I change it? Like
Finding Nemo?
No, like are you feeling better about Nemo? I wanted to name.
If he was a fish, I'd catch him and I'd feed him to a piranha.
Oh my gosh. We're about to get a second dog in the fall, hopefully. And I wanted to name him Nemo. And Dion said no.
Brandon Nemo?
No, I just Nemo after the fish.
Name him Dunphy.
Dumpster.
Dunphy.
I love it. I'll put it in the talks. Join
Dion's
the conversation.
Gonna be with it. So you might as well bring it up.
I know. He is gonna love it. And then obviously, another huge thing, again, to everybody that's going to try to be like, this is old news. We're recording Tuesday. So I just want to get your quick thoughts about it. Alec Boehm last night had 3 errors overall, but after the second one, he got another play at third.
Butch job.
And he did have the routine play, finally got it, kind of got heckled by fans with the sarcastic cheers and all that. And then he was caught on camera, man. You cannot get away with anything when you're on the field. Just saying
anything and doing anything.
Yeah, I effing hate this place to Didi after he got heckled. And he did own up to it post game.
I respect.
And so he was the bigger man. But before you even get into it. I saw that and I was like, okay, he was having a bad night. He's frustrated and then he gets heckled. Me as a former athlete, I 100% understand because I've had volleyball games. I specifically remember one volleyball game where I did not have a good game. My mom came up to me afterwards and I was even like, "Mom, get away from me." I was yelling at my own mom, Dumphy, because I was just upset. I was like, "Everybody leave me alone." Blah blah blah. So I feel like if I was in that situation, he's very frustrated. Then you have the fans heckling you and you're just like, "Oh my God, I already am so mad." And then these people are just pissing me off more. Like, I think it's so understandable.
I
100%
see what you're
did not
saying.
have a
That would
problem with
make
it.
sense if it was JT. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But this dude's been doing this all last season, and he picked up immediately, doing it again with 3 errors in 3 innings.
but see, that's because he
The
has a
first one
mental.
threw him off. Sure, he has a mental problem. That's even more of like, you got to get right, bro. It's the big leagues. There's no crying in baseball.
Well, I
I mean,
understand that.
not to be as like, you know what I mean? Not to be as like a dick as possible, but it's like, bro, like you're fucking up out there. You're continuing
And he
like you
knows
were
that,
all
but that's
last
my
season.
thing is like he knows that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that's struck or sucks
Girardi's a
about
better
Philly.
coach than me because I mean
Well, he
that's
kept him
why we
in
all in
and
coaches, and he did.
he was
It's
better.
great. It's great. I'm happy he did
Yeah.
because if me, I'd have like you.
But see, and that's
Your
the thing.
ass in the
But
bench,
that's the
bro.
thing about it is like if it is a serious mental thing and you didn't let him work through it,
Right.
he's never going to
I
get
get it.
better.
And that's
You
why
know
I'm
what I
happy he
mean?
did do that because I'm
So
thinking about that.
it
It's
shows the
good.
mental
It's
strength.
good that he went through it. He got over it. He was smiling, making jokes about it afterwards.
Owned up to it post
And
game.
what I liked about it is, see, Girardi knows him better than we do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's around him every day.
Obviously.
So he
yeah.
knows he might be putting the work in. He probably is a competitor. He's a gamer. So he might know, like, you know what? I know he's mad. I know this is something he wants to work on and he's messing up. But I mean, he did mess up, but he went out there. He hasn't actually got out all season still in 2 games. I don't know
Oh,
if you knew
wow.
that.
No.
His on base percentage is 1,000. He has not got
Oh.
out.
So see,
Literally in 2 games. He either walked
Kevin
or got
Long.
a hit.
Kevin Long, thank you. But
Yeah.
no, and my thing
And the
about
swing
Alec
looks a lot
Boehm,
better.
it does. And my thing about Alec Boehm is I am just very sympathetic towards him, I think, because looking at it from like a baseball analyst, if you want to say like view of everything, he's a 6'5" third baseman.
Right.
You set this guy up for failure in my mind. You know what I mean?
Well, he'd been playing there.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know,
okay.
but like, yeah, but it's different when you're a 6'5" third baseman. Like when I was in Little League, I played first base because I was the tallest person. I had a good arm. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
shouldn't have been at first. You know what I mean? So like it's
Right.
just like at different levels, you're gonna play a different thing. When you're going and you look at this guy and he's having success there in college, the level of play in college is way different
Well,
than the speed of an
we
MLB
discussed
game.
prior to the show was they're limited on moving him to
Well, and
other.
that's why I'm sympathetic towards him because he has the potential. We're seeing it already with the bat, and that's why he's going to be good in the majors if he has a successful career, which I hope he does for his sake.
Right.
And like that's why it sucks.
Shit, I hope he turns out to be the greatest
Me
third
too.
baseman of all time. I'm not sitting here cheering
Well,
against
yeah.
the kid.
No.
But my prediction going into the year, I made my mind up. I don't think he's a good MLB player because he's 6'5" with no pop. Sure, his swing looks a lot better. He put a couple in the gaps. He's getting on base. But it's only 2 games. It's not a huge
Sample size.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
2 games.
I get what you're saying.
Not to discredit him, but I mean, he could go on a streak where he goes 0 for 7 and his average drops to below like 200, and he's back to just being a shitty offensive player that we know him to be with.
But that's my thing is like
with
he's
a
still
terrible
young.
glove.
Yeah,
He is
but
young, but it's
he's
like
still young. So, and he's trying to work through this. And that's why I feel like, because you said that you don't think he's an MLB player. And my
no.
thing about it is I feel like a lot of Philly thinks that because they see his performance. But my thing about it is that's why I sympathize for him because I think he could be an MLB
that might have been a
level
little
player.
harsh. I think I probably did say that.
But it works for the show just because I feel like a lot of people actually think that. So that's why I'm sympathetic towards him because he does have the potential at the plate if he works through it. Because looking at his minor leagues, like, yes, he's had some droughts here and there and stuff, but when he does hit it, he hits it bombs. You know what I mean? So like, and that's a thing. So like, that's something he's still learning. There's a lot of potential there. And that's why it sucks that he's with the Phillies, because if he wants to be a good MLB player, he has the bat. So he could easily be DH. He could be a first baseman, or he could be moved to a corner outfielder spot, but not with the Phillies because they don't need any of that.
Well, yeah, hopefully.
And that's what sucks for him.
Hopefully he keeps his on base percentage up and they can move him.
Make your trade value. That's my thing. If to Alec Boehm right now, make your value go up.
Shit.
Play for that.
Learn how to play defense.
But I don't think there's any hope of him learning to play third.
No.
He's 6'5", and that's the thing. It's not even his reaction time and stuff. Like, he gets his glove there. You know what I mean? Like, it's always hitting his place. But he just can't bend down because he's 6'5". He's slow.
How do you think he said it when he said it?
No, it was out of frustration. He was like,
I get it.
Fucking place. And that's why
they were
they heckled him after he
made a routine play to third.
He had 2 errors before that, and he finally I'd be pissed, man.
He deserved it. That's the Philly tough love.
It is, but that's what I'm saying. And that's my only thing. I love Philly. I know how they are, but take your medicine back.
We are.
I said I hate this effing place about Philly last week when it was cold and 40 and raining all week.
I hate everything. Everything I hate them. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's what I'm saying. And then, so that's my thing. If Philly can dish it out, they need to be able to take it.
We did. We accepted what he said.
No, nobody did, because Twitter blew up saying that they hated him and he was so ungrateful and he was so against Philly. Get him out of here.
At the time, until he apologized. If he didn't man up and say nothing, I'd have been still dogging him.
No, but that's my thing. Is
if you'd have been like, oh, that's not what I said. Oh,
but why can't Duffy? But Philly needs to take its own medicine, though. But like, so if they're gonna heckle him and he gets pissed and he's like, "Fuck you" or something,
we made up. Then we became one again,
which is fine. But I'm just saying, sometimes Philly needs to be able
to. He says, "I fucking hate this place." No,
Philly didn't apologize. Philly didn't apologize to him for heckling him.
We're not players.
Yeah, but he became the bigger man. The fans were the bigger man.
Perform, or you're getting fucking booed. It's that simple.
Which is fine, because that's so Philly.
That's what we do.
And I am obviously so fine with that. I've been a part of that. But if I'm heckling a guy and then he's like, "Yo, fuck you," like, calm down, I'm pissed. Like, I'd be like, okay, you know what?
Nah.
Granted, I can take it. Yeah. Like, why can't you take it back? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm upset right now. Get off my back. Even though I'm playing like shit. Nah, you're about to hear this.
But that's my thing. It's like, he wasn't even asking, like, being like, "Guys, leave me alone."
Now,
he just made a comment out of frustration.
Let me ask you this,
and got attacked.
This is good. Let me ask you this. Bryce Harper, when he goes, "I play like shit. I want people to boo me." How do you feel about that? You're like, "Oh, I love that energy.
That's fine.
I want a player to be like
That's different. That's my thing, is I am fine with Philadelphia doing this. I grew up in Philly. I've been a part of those fans. I know that's Philly. But like, I don't think it's right for us to be hypocritical. Like, Bryce, yeah, he can take it. If he doesn't want to say anything back and it helps him, okay. But if a player is just going to, out of frustration, not Ben Simmons is different. Okay, that's 100% different. He actually hated us. He dogged us. That's 100% different. But for just Alec to make a comment out of frustration and be like, "I fucking can't deal with this."
Maybe he really does hate us. And it was just him just covering it up. Maybe him. I mean, if he does hate it, because why was he so comfortable saying it to D?
I mean, if he does, at least he's keeping it under wraps. Philly's a hard place to play for. Not everybody likes it. I'm fine with that as long as they keep it to themselves. Ben Simmons, like I said, that was wrong. That pisses me off. Completely different situation. But when it's one comment, like, "I effing hate this place," I think that is completely different.
Listen, as long as you man up to it, do you get what I'm saying? No, like,
I get what you're saying. I just don't agree.
Up to it. If he didn't own up to it, you'd have been okay with what he said?
Yeah, I was fine with it from the front. And that's why everybody...
You literally called it spot on, too.
Yeah.
Or even, like, apologize. You're like, you broke it down scientifically and shit. I'm going to bring it up.
Because I was that type of athlete. Like,
look, I get it. I'm competitive as they get. Trust
me. Yeah, and that's why I think...
Me and my uncle got in arguments face-to-face playing pickup basketball games.
Yeah.
I'm competitive as they get. I say shit. I get under people's skin. But, I don't know. I guess just because it's him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, he hasn't proven himself yet, so it just frustrates people, I guess. So, like, and that's the thing. I understand
now, if Bryce
why
said it. Everyone was like, "What the fuck?" What if Bryce would have said it? How would you have taken it? You'd have been like, "What the?" You'd have been like, "Whoa." He tells us he always loves this place. Now he's saying I fucking.
If it was a similar situation, I think I would have more concerns if Bryce Harper's making 3 errors in a game. I'd be like, yo, what the fuck's happening to Bryce? We're dropping the F-bomb a lot, Liam. I'm sorry. You're going to have to bleep, 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 bloop, bleep, blop.
All right, ready?
But.
So I said.
Oh, yeah, because you did comment or post about it, and we went a little bit back and forth.
It was a video, and it was like, people were saying, did he just say, oh my God, I fucking hate this place? People were curious if that's what he said. They were still trying to figure it out. And I said, if he did say it, I was just playing like, what's that called? Devil's advocate at the time, because I didn't think he said it. I really didn't. I was like, if he did say, why is he so comfortable with saying it to Didi?
Yeah,
I mean, like, these dudes are like, do they both hate Philly? Yeah, I mean. And then you said he's just saying it out of frustration. And when you make a bad play and feel like you can't catch a break, it's normal to turn to your teammate and make a comment out of frustration. And a natural coping mechanism. Like I said, you got scientific.
I really though
words that I didn't even ever heard of before.
Because I look at it from I really like actually look at it from the athlete point of view, or at least I try to, from the athlete point of view and all that stuff. Athlete. You know, because I'm so educated. I write my words better than I speak them, obviously. Right. But no, but that's why I looked at it literally as an athlete. And that's the thing, is that's where you cope. If you're frustrated and you're mentally just like, like in volleyball when that happens, like the other team knows to go to you because you're going to shank the ball. Right. So like if I literally am in my head like that, I have to turn to my teammate and be like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. So that they can just be like, yo, chill. And that's what helps him.
He might have been embarrassed too. It might have been like
100% he's embarrassed.
And
he's not proud of that.
Like, I fucking hate this place, bro. Like,
he knows 100% that
fucking mean to me.
And that's why I think he did apologize. He knows he didn't play well.
I hope the kid turns around. I hope he continues to fucking be
I really think if he just rises his trade value with his at-bat this year, then he would have a lot more success somewhere else, either being DH first or corner outfitter. I think that's where his success goes. I don't see it happening here, maybe unless he outperforms Reese and contract-wise, it makes sense. We'll see.
Sixers and 7.
Sixers and 6. But before we end the show, I have a new game for you.
Whoa.
I know. And I didn't tell you what it was, so you couldn't cheat. Nope. Okay. So I don't even, it's a really boring name for this game. Okay. So this is what I wrote down. Phillies walk-up song game. Yeah. So how we're going to play, I'm just going to do 3. I'm not doing the whole lineup. And a lot of these players, we can drag this on for a couple shows, which is going to be fun because a lot of the players have multiple walk-up songs, but I'm only going to do 3. So I have them picked out. Song number 1. I'm going to play it from my laptop. We'll probably have to edit it in for the sound, but see if you can hear this.
Am I going to guess whose song it is?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm going to play the song, and from hearing it, you're just going to say the player.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I think I'm going to struggle. DD.
Started it really, really simple.
How fun.
Want to know what, though? You're right. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
Is this one?
No, there's 3. But that was for number 1. But I wonder, I really want to ask a little bit, yeah. But I really want to ask Bryce Harper or somebody on the team and just be like, go talk to Didi and see if the reason Notorious's song to Gregorious.
He said it.
Oh, really?
Last year. I'm almost 100% positive. 98% positive.
I've never heard that, but I thought I was so smart because I thought I cracked the code.
It was a question at the Phillies game.
Oh, okay. So
like, you know, they have them up in the thing.
I thought I cracked the code, man. Gregorious.
Go ahead. Next one.
Okay, next one. This one's tougher.
I know this.
Do you know it? It's a tougher one.
I do.
Because it's not as common of a song. 5, 4.
Reese?
Nope. Boo! Bryce Harper! Yeah, because
I knew it was someone who was here last year because I know that song.
And when we were there at opening day, and when this came up, I told you this was Adam Hazley's walk-up song when he was first got drafted in Williamsport. I made that comment. That's why I put it in. Okay, and this last one's kind of easy too. It's just a catchy song. Okay, ready?
I don't fucking know. I'm assuming it's somebody new. This is Reese. No? Schwarber? That's what I was really going to get.
No, it's tough. Matt Vierling. So you probably haven't heard it in a couple days, but Matt Vierling. So you are 1
for 3.
for 3. Similar
I gotta
to the
set
Sixers.
my game up.
You know what? Everybody has a rebound. And we're going to do this next week too.
Cool.
Or next show.
Listen to them all.
Yeah, so now you can study, you little cheater. But you don't know. You're going to have to remember a lot of songs because even when you look it up, they have multiple songs with everybody.
Do they?
Yeah. Not everybody, but most of them. Like
Man,
I think
didn't get that Bryce one.
I know. I thought that's why I put it in there. I thought you weren't gonna.
I didn't think you were gonna make it easy. I didn't think you were gonna give me Bryce.
Yep. I made it pretty easy. But yeah. Gregorius. That's all we have for episode number 6 of 2 Jawns Wit. Make sure you're following our personal socials, obviously, and at 2 Jawns Wit on Instagram. We'll be putting out a lot of stuff. We're going to do a lot of giveaways throughout the Phillies season. So that's fun. We'll be at a lot of Phillies games. Sixers are going on. Obviously, we're their official sponsor or whatever kind of sponsor. I don't know. But yeah, so we'll be there and be doing a lot of stuff with the Sixers. Be on the look out for us. Follow the Sixers. Follow at Bet Parks on everything. And until next week, we will talk to you then.
Peace.